No thanks.
Oscar, here we are in Zotja Opera House. Prost. Tell us about the bazaar and the history. You've been involved for a very, very long time.
It hasn't always been a brewery. We haven't always had beer. This is a relatively new trend. When the first hall was built, which is a supper room of the present hall in 1930, they started fundraisers with bazaars. People brought their chickens, they brought their donkeys, they brought their cows to sell, and usually they bought them back themselves. So they saved on income tax because they had a cost.
And the people here today, are many of them still descendants of the original settlers, like yourself?
Most of them are descendants. We've had a few additions, but the foundation of this congregation actually arrived 130 years ago. It was the only group which came here as a group. One shipload of 80-odd people, which landed on Mzimkhulu and settled in this Azacha area. This land was donated by two of those settlers to build a church and a school, because worship and education were basic. They didn't just come to work. Worship and education. And to set up things like the hall, they needed a few extra rand. And that was made up by every party is a good reason to get together. And a fundraiser as a sideline. Now the big bazaar like this has been going maybe 30 years now, which is a full-blown business venture almost. Well organized, well prepared, put in money to earn money. And we have a small committee that manages the show with subcommittees running it. And it's turned out a big enterprise.
Well, it's one of the highlights of the South Coast annual calendar, isn't it?
Interesting, the last year of the Banana Express, they actually stopped here and the people alighted for the party, and when they'd done their purchases they went back to the Banana Express and back to Potchefstroom. So it really is unique.
You mentioned the business. Obviously, whatever money you get here goes to charity, etc., etc. How much do you normally get in on a bazaar like this?
We're looking at a net of about 150,000. But the turnover, of course, is a heck of a lot more. Most of the stuff now has to be bought. It is no longer donated. Donations are just a small part of what we produce. Number one, most of the farmers no more have animals. And marketing is that much easier, and everything is just more commercial. So this year, one farmer reared all the pigs for us in Harding. He has a maize farm and he had all his own feed and he channeled it through here. And we bought the beef and the pork via Ronnie Boer in paddock in Harding.
Well, that makes one think. If you can get 150,000 rand income, there must be a hell of a lot of voluntary work. I mean, people must start. When do they start actually?
We started 2 weeks ago. All the preserved meats were done last week. All the metwurst and the bacon and the ham, that was all done last week. The bloedwurst, the black pudding, all done last week. We have actually amongst our group one professional German hunter who is also a meat processor, and he does the specialist sausages. And then the Boers, also being hunters, do the biltong and the dry wors and these things. So guys are specializing at home and bringing their expertise here. And I've spent 6 days here now, full time, just preparing. That is our donation, which is channeled partially to charity, to other churches, to some of the needy. Some of it goes to Angel's Wings in Paddock. But basically is also to set up members here.
How big is the congregation at the moment?
Only 230 people. Only 230, but we have a number of people, a growing number of people, who only attend church services, not as members. And they're all welcome. It's a growing group since we started developing our English services, because that's the community we need to reach. The German community is limited. So every Sunday, 2 services, 1 English, 1 German. So everybody is catered for.
Oscar, thank you very much for your time.
It's been a pleasure, Johan.
And once again,
all the best.